Good morning. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 98 and we're here in Southwest Florida waiting on the sun to rise over the buildings and the trees. This is the Gulf of Mexico behind me and it is a little chillier than I expected this morning, but good thing I have hand knit and crochet items with me. I usually bring the sample garments for my newest book, Motif Magic, just in case someone wants to see anything. And that's one of the packages that I bring in Dolly the Wonder Wagon every morning. And today I have put on, oh gosh, am I going to forget the name? I'm wearing Tyra this morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is Tyra. It is a crochet motif wrap from Motif Magic. And it has very simple granny square style rectangle motifs that are joined as you go in a configuration that was inspired by a vintage herringbone tile photo that I saw from Morocco on Instagram, or no, not on Instagram, maybe just on Google. And it's done in sport weight yarn. This happens to be Be So Serene, one of my 100% organic cotton yarns. And I love the way it just wraps around my shoulders. Thank you so much, Darlene. Darlene says she just ordered the book and some of my yarn. Yay! Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. I made a new tea this morning. For those of you who are interested, I added matcha green tea, and then I added some green cardamom pods. I added a little sprinkling of cinnamon, and I added a slice of fresh ginger. So no sweetener at all, just the spicy spices with my green tea, and it is absolutely delicious. A little hot still, but that's good because it's chilly out here. Traditional granny stitch style motif, but it's worked in a rectangle, and then you join them in specific positions to create this gorgeous herringbone texture. Done with two colors. It would be beautiful in one color as well, and it would be easier to figure out where to put the motifs if you did it in one color, and I think the texture would still show up very beautifully in one color. It would also be pretty if you used two variegated colors instead of two solid colors. But it's nice and cozy for a chilly morning outdoors. Good morning, everybody. Yes, Patty, there's a pattern for the shawl. It is one of the patterns in my newest book, Motif Magic, which is 17 projects of knitting and crochet that are joined as you go. And this is one of the projects in the book. It's called Tyra. And you'll see that there are really well written diagrams, all of the stitches that are used. Now I look like the sunrise, that's winning. I'll take that, I love the sunrise. All of the stitches that are used in the book have already been made into videos, so the entire stitch glossary is also a video library that you can find on my website and on my YouTube channel. Yes, Sarah, learning how to read charts is a great idea. Hi, Donna. Thanks for complimenting my braids. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'd like to know if Shirley's okay, too. Thank you, Melissa. My top is from eBay. I buy most of my clothes on eBay. I don't have time to go to thrift stores, so I like to find deals on my favorite brands on eBay. It's one of my little hobbies. Good morning, Cheryl. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. What I really like about this top, though, is that it's loose and flowy, like the tops that I always like to wear, and it's sheer, but it has that elasticized waistband so that it doesn't hang so low, which on a good day feels good. On a bloated day, you don't wear this top, sort of thing, but on a good day, I like being able to wear something that's not completely flowy at the bottom. So today's one of those good days. And I'm wearing the Tyra wrap because it's still a little chilly as we're waiting on the sun to rise. Saw someone mentioning the dolphin. Yes, that would be great to see a dolphin today. Yes, this is one of the projects from Motif Magic. It's called Tyra. Let's see, is it on the cover? No, it didn't make the cover, so it's not on there, but I can show you photos and the pattern inside. This is what the pattern looks like in the book. So you see there's a really detailed explanation of the position of the motifs in a schematic form. Then of course we have a chart for the motif and a chart for joining the motifs, and lots of written line-by-line instructions as well, and lots of photographs. Also, all of the stitches have been made into videos, so the entire stitch glossary for this pattern, as well as every pattern in the book, is available on my website in video format and also on YouTube. Where do you buy the book? You can buy the book on my website and get it autographed and personalized. You can buy it on Amazon in every Amazon country in the world on 5 continents. You can buy it at barnesandnoble.com. You can also get a digital copy at Kindle. If you need help with any of those links, they're all available in my shopping page on my website. And any of the links that you need to find for me, including my website, social media, and all sorts of other things, are always listed in the video description below any video that I post on YouTube. Today I wanted to show you more variations of that stitch pattern that I've been working on. I brought the cardigan that I was working on yesterday. I brought the top-down pullover, top-down raglan pullover in the same stitch pattern, and I brought the 2 versions of the shawl that I'm working on in the same stitch pattern. For those of you who don't join every day, some of this might be repeated, but it's all good stuff, so I thought it was interesting. And I haven't brought the pullover in a while, so let's see, where do we start? The cardigan is being worked in motifs, so we have a square and triangle motif. Let's see, so there's one of the squares and there's one of the triangles, and I'll try it on so you can, it's kind of hard to tell with a motif cardigan that you join as you go what it looks like until you actually see it on. So you see this side is complete, and we're working across to the other side, so it's not all the way complete, but you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Really beautiful. Then I took the stitch pattern from the square motif and converted it into a top-down raglan pattern. You can see there's where it starts, so there's 4 corners of increase like on that square, but worked for a top-down raglan. And you'll see we have, oh, it's so hard to try on tops that are only this short. Can't get the back. So you'll see it's the same pattern as the square motif. So let me show you a square motif again. It's the same pattern as the square motif, so I've continued on in this. We skipped the middle, right, because we needed a neck hole. So we're doing this pattern and the corner pattern throughout. So we did corners to here, joined for the underarm, and now working straight in this pattern and this pattern to get to the bottom of the top. And what's beautiful is that little eyelet section is going to go all the way down the sleeve, so super cute. If I do sleeves, haven't decided that far. So, and this is Be So Bold yarn, which is my worsted weight, organic cotton and bamboo blend yarn, and this colorway is called Snorkeling in Key West because it reminds me of a trip I went on many years ago, snorkeling in Key West. And that's available in my shop now. This is a linen yarn that is not available in my shop now, but coming soon. And that brings me to the 3rd project, also using this motif. I think it's going to be a great story when it's done, so you can see how interesting it is to manipulate any particular motif or stitch pattern and how many different ways you really manipulate them. So now going to the triangle motif, you see this is a triangle going from here, here to here. That's one of the triangle motifs. Now from there, I decided to grow that into a top-down triangle shawl. But as I was doing this one on Be So Sporty yarn in colorway Trailblazer, I was realizing that these 2 edges along the top were not long enough for the corner point. Notice how it's too ruffly down there and not long enough on these sides, and the triangle's not working. Well, I realized that the amount of increase I needed for those edges was working really well for this size triangle, but to grow it bigger, I needed more increase in the corners. So now remember this one, and I'm going to show you where I adjusted the number of increases I did on those edges, and look at how much better this triangle is looking already. It's looking like a triangle without me having to fuss with it. I mean, it's going to come down a little bit here, but still. So if you see, look at this one. See if it'll stay on my chest while I pull up this one. Can you see the difference? This is the same stitch pattern, but with less increase at the edges, and it's kind of a wonky triangle shape, and this one's looking more real triangle shape. That's not a term. But it's because I've adjusted the amount of increase on the sides at the beginning and end of each row. And I love how it complements the amount of increase we're doing in the center. So this will get unraveled, this will be continued, and eventually I'll have all three of these patterns using the same motif stitch pattern. So we've got this one, which is a manipulation of the triangle motif, and this one, which is a manipulation of the square motif, and this one, which is a combination of the square and triangle motif. Yeah, I like the pink one too. It's possible that I'll just unravel it back and actually do the actual shawl in the Trailblazer, because this is the one that I wanted to do the shawl in, so I think I might just unravel the whole thing and do this stitch pattern on this one. I just tangled the yarns together. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done that before. Oh, patience is the most wonderful virtue to have when you have tangled yarn, right? Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Okay, which one did this go in? This went with this one. And this one goes in here. This one goes in here. Okay, I still need my wrap, it's a little bit windy. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like them so much. I think they're really interesting. I really like exploring, manipulating a stitch pattern and seeing how many different ways I can do it. Good morning. Lily's asking what I'm drinking today. I made my own tea this morning. I added matcha green tea, and then I added a couple of green cardamom pods, a little sprinkle of cinnamon, and a slice of fresh ginger. But I sliced the ginger and then chopped it a little bit so there was more surface area of the ginger to steep into the tea. So no sweetener, which is usually traditional with a spicier tea like that. No cream, it's all just plain with the spicy spices in it, but really delicious. It's actually really good. The more I drink it, the more I'm liking it. It's not quite like chai because I'm missing a couple of the ingredients. I didn't feel like going full blown this morning, but it's really delicious. Sounds like some people are going to some fiber festivals soon. That sounds fun. Is anybody crafting this morning? I'm working on, I'm almost finished with one of the triangle motifs, and if there's time, I'll show you how I join it to the body of the cardigan. So a triangle motif is actually working half of a square motif. So instead of working in the round, this particular triangle motif is worked in rows instead of rounds, which is almost like a mini beginning of a top-down triangle shawl. Yes, Linda, I knit all the time. Absolutely, do you? Yeah, after this row, I'll be able to join it on the next row. Might be challenging to do that on camera without a table, but I'm willing to try. Yes, Donna, the linen yarn's coming soon. Still working on colors and the planning part of it, but it will be coming soon. Before this pattern, I won't release the pattern without having the yarn to buy, if that makes sense. I love linen too. I love woven linen as well as linen yarn. It's absolutely fabulous for market bags. I think it's just beyond perfect for market bags. And skirts, I like it for skirts too. Oh, thanks, Sarah. I'm glad you like the 15 moments with Kristin videos. They're kind of fun. Not kind of fun, they are fun. They're pretty easy to do throughout the day, to just like turn the camera on for 3 seconds and then edit it down to 1 second. It's not hard to do, and I actually find the finished video kind of entertaining, and I figure if I find it entertaining, I would imagine other people do too, because I know I mix a lot of stuff into my day, and I think that that's kind of fun to see. Okay, so I'm ready to join one of my motifs to the body of the cardigan. So let's see if I can set up my camera and set up my work. And if it doesn't work, just keep in mind this isn't a tutorial video. This is just girlfriends hanging out, and if I can show you something, I will. If it doesn't work, we don't have to do it again. But I think I might use the box of, gosh, maybe I should bring a little picnic table down here. But we'll try to use the box of Motif Magic as our tray. And, okay, so we'll turn the camera down. See if that helps. Okay, so in between these two square motifs here, yeah, that's showing up, I'm going to join the final row of this triangle motif right there. So I'm going to be joining in the corners and in a few positions along the bands of double crochet. So we'll start with a chain 1. And again, this pattern is not available yet, but I'm just showing you this to show you the concept of joining as you go, because sometimes I think people just don't quite understand the concept. And as I've been talking to some of my knitting group and crochet group ladies that are new to joining motifs as you go, one of the things to do as a beginner, and even to do when you're not a beginner, is it's not something you do in your lap. It's something you really need a table for, to be able to position where the motifs are going to go. Like for me right now, I'm looking to see, okay, I'm at the point, I didn't do it right. And you know what? I may have missed my mistake if I didn't have it sitting here and I wasn't looking to line up the stitches. So what I'm going, so let's go back now. I've got to get myself positioned to do the first join, or second join. Okay, so now we'll come back here. And notice how I flip up the work to come from the bottom. That's the way I prefer to do it. Doesn't really matter however you prefer to do it, just make sure that you're consistent with whichever way you pick into the adjacent work to do your slip stitches. It really is so interesting to join as you go when you're crocheting or knitting, and it's such a great way to skip the sewing process. I find that if you're not really an experienced hand sewer, you are doing yourself a favor by crocheting or knitting instead, because it's so much more secure than a poorly sewn join. If you're an excellent sewer, it's not an issue at all, right? And if you prefer to sew your motifs together, that's totally fine too. But for those of us who are not proficient at hand sewing yarn motifs together, it is absolutely the superior way to join them when you learn it, because a slip stitch is not coming back out. Okay, we've got it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one more spot I wanted to show you was when we come to a corner. The way to make your corners really pop is to make sure that when you're joining more than one motif at a time, like we've already joined 3 motifs together, and notice how they're all joined in the same chain of the first motif that was joined into. So if you join all 4 of them into the same exact chain, you get a much tighter and more crisp join than if you just join them all in, you know, the close proximity or all in the big chain space. And I'll show that up close in a second here. I'll show you that on another example. So if you look here, notice in this join here how crisp that corner is, because all of them are joined into the same exact chain space. Not the big spaces, but the same exact chain. And by joining them like that in the corner, it doesn't matter when you're joining on an edge. And in a lot of edges, I don't necessarily do that when they're being joined in one place. But in a corner, I really think it really elevates the level of your work and makes it look more professional. So hopefully that shows up on camera. It'll show up way better on camera when we do a tutorial, but in the meantime, I always think it's nice to just see the gist of what's going on. So this is a pre-tutorial. This is a linen yarn that is sport weight, that is a new yarn coming soon. It's not available yet, but it will be available in the next couple of weeks. Donna finished a skinny scarf. Yeah, if you don't have enough space to block a long skinny scarf in one line, it is perfectly fine to fold it in half first. Thanks, Cheryl. I'm glad you ordered it. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be shipping it as soon as I can. It's perfectly fine to fold a project in half while you're blocking it. The only thing that I would ask that you keep in mind is that it's double the thickness of wetness, right? So if you think it's going to take too long to dry where you have it, please consider putting it under a ceiling fan or bringing over an oscillating floor fan. If you can get any sort of movement, I lost my ponytail. If you can get any sort of air moving on it, it'll speed up the drying time. Huh, and it's one of those clear ones. Probably no way I'm going to find it. You know, I didn't wrap it enough this morning. I thought, oh, it'll be fine. No, probably fell out before I even left. There's no way I'm going to find it. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, thanks, Edna. They won't be perfect for long. This one's going to start unraveling. What size hook am I using? I'm using an F5, I believe. Yep, I'm using an F5. So it is sport weight yarn, so you could definitely do that on Be So Sporty or Be So Serene as well. And either one of those yarns would make a gorgeous motif cardigan as well, no question. I think the next project I'm going to make for the linen yarn though is going to be a skirt, possibly with a, well, that or Be So Lush. I can't decide. Be So Lush, I'm preparing to dye today and tomorrow, and that's my fingering weight organic cotton and bamboo blend yarn. And I want to do a maxi skirt in either that or the linen. Maybe I'll do Lush first. Yeah, maybe Lush. Yes, I could tie it with a small piece of yarn. You're right. Let's see. Now, do I have any scrap yarn? I do. This is what I've been meaning to do for a while now. Because the little clear rubber bands that I bought for my hair, I didn't realize that they're one-time use, and that feels incredibly wasteful to me. And I'm kind of just stuck with it now because I figure until the box is gone, just use it. But I figured I had until the box run outs to come up with another alternative. And I've been toying around with the idea of doing yarn in my hair. And there we go. All right, I love it. Yeah, okay, well maybe starting today, from now on I'll do yarn in my hair. But I need to figure out a way to do it so that it's not just a string. Maybe make it a little more decorative. Maybe just make chains. I'm going to do a knit and crochet one. I love both. One of my favorite projects that I ever made and wore was a ruffled knit skirt, so I'd like to replace something like that because it's long gone, and I'd like to do a crochet one. Love to do both. Just need to make them. Crocheted and knitted lace skirts are so beautiful, and it's fun to be able to wear a t-shirt or some other kind of, you know, store-bought top with them, or a tank top, and even layer tank top t-shirt with a jean jacket over a lace skirt. Oh my god, gorgeous. Yes, with a little flare at the bottom, absolutely. Be So Serene yarn is getting dyed this week too. I'm a little behind on dyeing, but there's been so much going on. So both Lush and Serene yarn are getting dyed this week. And then bling will be here soon, so I'll be doing another color of bling yarn soon for Sarah wants more styling videos. Specifically what, like styling of knit and crochet projects or styling of something else? My eye's watering, I don't know why. Because I'm happy to talk about my point of view on styling. I just want to make sure I'm telling you what you want to hear about. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, either you start narrowing it down and picking specific topics, or anybody. Oh, you guys flatter me so much. Yes, but I am so grateful to hear that you like all the ideas of styling, but if you can give me specific ones, let's see, where could we start a list? Maybe someone could start a list in the Create, Share, Inspire Facebook group, or start a list. Oh, I know. No. Just start a list. Somebody start a comment here in the Yarn on the Beach podcast, and I'll pin that comment so it stays at the top. And then anybody wants to put in their request for a specific styling video, you want to do it that way? Will that work for everybody? So someone just start the comment, or I could start the comment saying, all right, we'll get to it today. I could start the comment and pin it and say, give me your requests for styling videos. And then everybody put in your requests, and then as it seems appropriate or seems like it works for the day, that any given day, I can start doing them. There's a dolphin right here, right here. He's really close. And he's coming this way. He's right here. Is he on camera? He's gonna be right here. He's right here at the shore. Can everybody see him? There he is. Let me get myself out of the way. Good morning. Did he stay or did he go? Good morning. Oh, how fun. Oh, did you see that? He just rushed the shore. Do you see all the, oh, I don't know if that showed up on camera. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Oh, he left. He's gone now. Wow, what a treat. We haven't seen that in a while, have we? Did everybody get to see the, did everybody get to see him when he rushed the shore, or was that off camera? Yeah, he put on a show for Yarn on the Beach. At one point I thought I was annoying being so loud, and then I wondered if maybe he was liking it or he was hearing it, so that's why I kept going. So sorry about that. You guys did you see him rush the shore? Yeah, he definitely stopped by to say hi. That was awesome. It's so amazing how big they are. And then to see something so massive come so close. Oh, your kids got to see Raina. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, I knew he was having a George moment, right? Look at how George gets so excited about the camera. Wow, now if that isn't an exciting way to start the day, I don't know what is. We'll have to invite the dolphins to our retreats, right? All right, everybody, I think that is the most spectacular way to end our podcast today. So let's take this last minute to look out on the water, enjoy this magnificent view, listen to the waves, and set our intentions for the day. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy days to spend some time with me here on the beach. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise and the water and our dolphin friend and chatting with me. If you like Yarn on the Beach podcast, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel for more videos, click the bell button so you know when I'm live, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to talk about in future videos, or if you have something to say about today. I would love to hear from you. Please make sure to follow the links in the video description for links to all my social media channels, my website, all the different ways that I teach and educate. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.